Greetings everyone and welcome to actually the final Crimson Vow traditional draft. There's gonna be now before Neon Dynasty, and I was going to draft a few of these still just to have some best of 3 content up, but as you can see, finding a draft table, this has taken almost 30 minutes to find a draft table, so it's pretty clear now that the double feature draft is taking most players out of the, at least from the traditional queue of Crimson Vow. I don't really have time to wait for 30 minutes, and this is I'm playing at a time that normally I find the table in like a few minutes, even though it's end of a set soon. So this is I have never been half an hour in the draft queue. So I will pause now until the draft starts. But I'm just saying that as you can see from the topic of the video, I mean the name of the video, you will see already that it's the last Crimson Vow, because this is just ridiculous. I can't wait for 30 minutes before I get to launch a draft. But I will come back when the draft actually starts. Okay, it took around 35 minutes to find the table, so that everyone actually, joined the table. They also went a couple of times so that 8 people were found, but then not everyone confirmed. Alright, so this pack has 2 options. So this is just Crimson Vow, of course, no double feature. There's a whole pack Piper, Great Rare, and then there's a Great Removal spell in Bleed Dry. It's the last draft of Crimson Vow. I will be playing the double feature, of course, which will have the Crimson Vow cards, but regardless, I'm not taking the premium removal spell, I'm taking the premium creature here. It might also just be the better card. This is quite good when you put expensive cards for 2 mana on the battlefield, and then when this transforms, you also get to look at the top 6 cards of your library and for a creature. So this can net you cards as well. Pretty darn good. Good one here. Alright, so well, this pack is very decent as well. So the best blue cards are completely pickable here, the Diver's Garb and the Lantern Bearer. They are actually both first pickable cards. And then there's Alluring Suitor, really good as well. And then there's Ancient Lambenot, which is... And now that I have a green card here, I could pick it here. Right. Yeah, it's gonna be one of them. I mean, there are 4 options. I think if I took a blue card, I might just take the cheaper one here. So Lantern Bearer or with Diver's Cup at this point. But it's really tough to decide it now. I really like the Lambenot, but I guess the Alluring Suitor might just be a little bit better here. I don't know. It's very tough to pick. It could be anything of these. I'll take the Suitor. I think it is the better one. I did pass a Bleed Dry, so black might not be that open in pack 2, which is making me slightly, willing to ignore black for now. And of course, this pack doesn't have anything red. And the green stuff is quite bad, and I could take the Dig Up or the Desperate Farmer if I took the black card, the green-black uncommon. So, okay, what to do here? I am not taking these white cards. I'm not taking the Chill of the Grave. I really don't want to take the Apprentice Sharpshooter either. I think I'll take the Desperate Farmer if I'm going to be black anyway. That's the best card maybe to take. Alright, so this pack on the other hand has a Traveling Minister. I take that as a signal that white is at least somewhat open. Hookhand Mariner would be a reasonable pick here. But Traveling Minister is just so good, and if white is open, I'm gonna miss picking this, so I can take random 4-drops, even though this is one of the better ones. I think I will miss Minister more than the 4-drop in case I'm going to be white. And it's also possible I'm not green either. I mean, look at these packs, not particularly amazing for green. I think the card I should take here is the Belligerent Quest. I don't like the Gatherer Skulker that much. The white cards are quite uninteresting. I have an Alluring Suitor here, a really good quality red card. So I'll take the Quest here, which I think is the best card out of those. I will just keep my options open for any kind of archetype here. Alright, there's now a Sporeback Wolf, and I do want to have some 2-drops. I haven't seen anything else white, so maybe this was an anomaly. People are drafting... I mean, this is a white card, but it's not such an amazing one. So people passed this somewhat late, but now nothing else from white gets past me. So I think I go back to the green plan, maybe green-red. So I'll take the 2-drop here just for mostly curve reasons. It's not like a super amazing card or anything like that. Okay, now here is well, this is an interesting one. I guess the Lightning Wolf could be picked because it is somewhat playable, but I really don't like the card. I am taking the Kindly Ancestor. In that case, I will have 2 white cards, 2 green cards, and 2 red cards. I can have a combination of some combination of those. 2 of those colors will be played. I could even be black, but I just don't like the Lightning Wolf that much, so I'll take these. Now I have 2 decent white cards, 2 decent green cards, and 2 decent red cards with 1 decent black card. So hopefully I don't have to move to blue at this point in the draft, but let's see if I open a crazy good bomb rare from blue in the next pack. Okay, so there is an actual blue playable card here, Catgeist. The Binding Geist is like alright too. Here it's more like a question of, am I taking one of these black cards? I mean, it would be the Gift of Fangs because I have the Desperate Farmer, or just kind of solidify my red and take the Sure Strike, which is fine. I mean, I was quite open until this point. It's gonna be either the Gift or the Sure Strike. I'll take the Sure Strike. I don't think the Gift is even that good of a card, so let's try to actually pick some cards. I mean, same color cards that I have already picked here. And here, not a good pack. But of course, pick 9. I don't expect the packs to be that good. But they are like mediocre black, mediocre red, mediocre green. I think I'll take the 2-drop for curve reasons again. And here I can take a Belligerent Quest. And no one cares about the Amdekatars. I guess if I'm ending up red-white, I could play an Amdekatars, so I'll take it here now. Oh, I have only this one good green card, so I have no reason to, force green or anything like that. Very weird pack, actually. But I have reasonable cards, and I think I can still find enough to make a playable deck. Alright, so here, just take the Sheltering Bows. It's at least playable if I really run out of cards to play, and if I end up playing green. This is a card you can put to your deck, even though it's not really... It's one of the first cuts whenever you start cutting cards from a green deck. I think the blue is the only color I haven't picked. I'm not gonna take a Siphon Essence now. I'll take the 1-3. Quite unlikely that I would be playing it, but I think it's more likely that I'm gonna play a white deck that wants to have a 2-drop 1-3 than that I would take the Siphon Essence. Okay, so there are some blue cards here. Lantern Bearer and the Inspired Idea would be both fine. There's one good green card. There is not really amazing white card. There's an Adamant Will. There's a Foreboding Statue though, which would work nicely because I don't know about my colors yet. This would be playable in the deck. Anyway, there's also the Lacerate Flesh. I have 4 red cards, so Lacerate Flesh could be picked because I might be playing red here. But I think I like the Statue more, or the Hunter, but I don't know about the green yet. It could still be white-red, for example. Although I don't like this card in white-red. This is tough suddenly. Fine, I'll take the Hunter. You know why? Because if I end up playing green, I of course will play the Hullback Piper, and the Flourishing Hunter is amazing with the Piper. For 2 mana you get to put this 6/6. That's the only reason I took it there this early in the draft. But yeah, that was a very unexciting pack for me. Alright, so Sigarda's Imprisonment. That's okay. Would I be white-green? If I'm white-green, I don't think this deck cares about the Amdekatars, so I don't... The only good white card is the Traveling Minister. The Imprisonment would be another decent white card, but I could just, play red-green and take the Blood Petal Celebrant here. The Blood Hypnotist won't be the correct choice here, I don't think. I'm not taking a massive might this early. Yeah, I think I liked my red a little bit more, so I'll take the Celebrant here. And let's maybe try to be red-green. Okay, there's a decent white card now for 2 mana, but there's also the Spore Crawler, which is totally fine. Although I have a bunch of red 3-drops if I'm going to be red and green. I don't really need a 3 mana card, so I could still take the Drogskull Infantry in case white is gonna be my second color. Wow, what a draft. very weird with me not being unable to settle to my colors easily, because there's nothing that stands out. I mean, these are both kind of equal quality cards, for example, here. I'm just thinking to pick the white card for curve reasons, but I guess I'll with the Flourishing Hunter, I'm somewhat sure to be drafting green now. And out of all the color combinations, blue-white is open, and especially blue, I mean, Lantern Bearers going both directions. That's really unfortunate. And there's also no red here, so... But the only white card that's mono white is the Unholy Officiant, of course. The best card is not possible to pick here. I'm not gonna start moving to blue-white here. That's not really great. I'll take the Witch's Web. It's a fine trick. Valorous Stance. Okay. So maybe white-green after all. I mean, there's a foreboding statue which could be picked too, but Valorous Stance is actually very good card. The problem with white-green is that I don't care about the Amdikataz. I would basically have only 2 white cards, and then the Valorous Stance would be my third one. So I'm not sure if that's what I want to be doing here. But then again, the foreboding statue would be my millionth 3-drop, so sure, I take the Valorous Stance. Who knows, maybe I can even splash it. And here, mediocre stuff continues happening. Red isn't the open Dollhouse of Horrors. Yeah, that's not really good, but I guess I could try it once. This is my last draft of this format. I have played a few times against the card. I haven't played with it. There is a Massive Might though, which I really like, so I'm not sure if I can take the Dollhouse here. I just like the Massive Might more. Sorry guys. And here, well, the Paris Play Trainee wouldn't be bad. I mean, it's not great, but it is easy to train it in white-green, of course. You will have big green creatures. Evolving Wilds would be a fine pick, but I think now that I took the Valorous Stance, I'm kind of white-green now. So let's take the white card. This is definitely not the kind of white-green deck that I like. I like the aggressive decks with the 2-mana 2/2s that get stat increase for the turn if you play humans and stuff like that. But this has been actually quite miserable draft. I'll take the flyer. This is actually quite decent in white-green when you can jump your big green creatures. Adamant Wheel, sure. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut the non-white, non-green cards. I made my decision to be white-green. So I guess I'm just missing the. I take, by the way, 20 gems here. There's nothing I'm interested in here. So I missed the pacifism variant. That was the first card in this pack too. I really hate the Snarling Wolf, so I'll take hate, not exactly hate, but I don't think it's really good. So I'm not planning to play it. Alright, Toxic Scorpion. I guess still better than the Officiant. It's not good at training these guys. How many pump spells am I gonna play? I guess I'll take the Wolf now because I have a lot of pump spells. Right. So for white red, there's actually a very good uncommon because there's still the possibility. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I count also these 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I could be white red by taking the Mako Vulture here, but then again, there is another Flourishing Hunter. There's also a Heron of Hope. Yeah, this is not great. I don't know. I kind of like the Vulture, but I have so few 2-drops. Okay, I hope white and red won't be super open. I'll just take the 6-mana card. It is really good though. As a curve chopper, I have only what? No 5-mana cards, and 2 6-mana cards definitely can be played here. And then I'm immediately being passed a creepy puppeteer. Don't make me regret not taking the Vulture, because I think I could have moved to red-white here still. That was a thing that you can do. Anyway, it's not so bad because I have 3-drops I can play. I think the Weaver of Blossoms is easier now with the 6-drops here. Okay, that is a Rending Flame. So if I had taken the red card, I would have gotten 2 other very nice red cards too. But in the end, there's a Wolf Strike. no reason thinking about splashing for this thing. I can just play the Wolf Strike, it's good enough. Okay, 13 creatures, 7 non-creatures. Is there something I really want to cut? I mean, the Snarling Wolf. I don't want to have that many Toxic Scorpions. Okay. This is starting to be disgusting. If I took the Mark of Vulture, I could have taken... What was the first? Oh, it was the Creepy Puppeteer, the rare, and then 2 Rending Flames after that. I would have had an amazing white-red deck, I think. Maybe not enough 2-drops, but I still have the Celebrant here and some white 2-drops, but alright, whatever. I'll take the Trainee now because I need 2 mana plays, but at least now I get a pack where there is not an amazing red card. I'll take the Massive Might here still. And Millipede. I don't think I care about it, but I guess I will see. Maybe it makes the deck. Another Snarling Wolf, never. 1 is at most that I'm gonna play. I'll take the uncommon even though I'm not gonna even play it. I don't wanna play 2 Snarling Wolves. It's very awkward to have them. It has the mana requirements all the time. Okay, there's a Sanctify for my sideboard, but I might actually prefer the creature even though I'm not that big fan of it. But I guess I can play a 4-drop here still. I haven't really used the Sanctify a lot, so very rarely you sideboard it in. Wow, Mark Vulture came back, so did Biolume Egg. 2 very nice uncommons. Okay, well I can't be now, I don't think I can anymore be white-red, so I'll take the Crushing Canopy, that is a good sideboard card at least. And this is a best of 3 draft. And Heron Blessed Guys, no thanks. Supernatural Rescue, I don't think I have a Spirit here. I have a 3, not enough for this thing. I don't have enough enchantments for this thing. There's a red 2-drop I could still pick up here. I guess I'll take the Rural Recruit, but... Okay, Sanctify for the sideboard now, or another Massive Might. I think I'll still take the Massive Might. I will cut something like the Cathars maybe over it. Okay, Nature's Embrace. I don't think I'm gonna play it. Sheltering Bows. Alright. So, a weird draft. Very weird draft. And I'm saying it's weird because in pack 1 I really tried to be red. I mean, I picked I think most red cards. If it were anywhere near that much open than in pack 3, the beginning of pack 3, I could have easily just been a red with whatever other color it is. But in pack 2 I made the decision to go green-white, and then I had to pass a lot of good red cards in pack 3. But that's how it goes sometimes. Am I gonna put something to the deck before I start making the cuts? I don't think I am. Not really caring about enough of these things, so I'm gonna cut, I suppose, 3 cards. This will be a 23 spell, 17 land deck. So, 17 creatures, 9 non-creatures. The less creatures I have, the worse the Millipede will be. But if I cut mostly non-creatures, I think the Millipede can still be played here. With 3 Massive Mights and 1 Witch's Web. I think the Cathars is the easy cut here. I think the Sheltering Bows could be too. Although it's also sort of interesting. I haven't really played with it. I don't recall have I played it even once. Maybe like in some kind of a train wreck draft in which I didn't get enough playables or something like that. I might want to try it in my main deck just for fun, to play with the card. Maybe it is better than I give it credit for. I don't think so, but it's something I could try just for fun because this is the last. Now, yeah, there will be double feature drafts in which the Sheltering Bows is, of course, also in the card pool because every card in both of the Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow is in that card pool, but I think I'm gonna be a bit more serious in those drafts, and I really doubt that I would ever play the Sheltering Bows. It's also best of 1, so you don't have even the sideboard utility in there. So I kind of would normally cut this, but maybe now I will leave it in. And Massive Might, yeah, I will cut the Adamant Will from the main deck at least. How many 2-mana creatures that is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm thinking about cutting the Snarling Wolf. That would be a 16 land deck then with Millipede. Sorry, with 16 creature deck, not land. It will be 17 lands. I guess the Wolf does train these guys. And I have 2 of them. It's better at training them than the Toxic Scorpion, in fact. But Toxic Scorpion is the kind of 2-drop that when you just, don't draw, you want to just stay alive, you can have a Death Toucher. But I guess 2 of them in the main deck might be bad. So I think I will actually cut the Toxic Scorpion and keep the Snarling Wolf because of the utility in training the trainees here. So this will be my main deck, and I think the first cut when I sideboard something can easily be the Sheltering Bows, but I will try the card now. Alright, so definitely not a great deck. And the red-white deck, if I made the decision to pick the red-white uncommon, pack 3, pick 1, I think I would have gotten enough red and white, very good quality cards, and also a good mana curve for that deck, I think. But that didn't happen, so now I will play with this deck. 16 green, 7 white cards. Quite awkward, but I have early white drop, so I have to play 9-8 here. Can't play really 10-7 with these early white cards, so but I'm still playing, of course, more forests than plains because of the, I got so much more green in the deck. Yup. So that's it. Let's go to the first match. Five lands, 2 playable spells. I think I'll keep it. I do have also a bunch of expensive cards in the deck, so not all my draws will be cheap ones. So if I draw like 3 and 4 and maybe the 6 drops here, I'd be quite happy, in fact. Opponent also mulligant here, so they are having at most 6 cards. Yeah, they kept 6. So of course now when you keep a 5 lander, the risk of flooding out is really, if I draw now 50% lands, that's gonna be bad. But of course I even drew the 6 drop, which is not so bad. I mean, of course I can't cast it before turn 6. I still want to have some action, but this is a good top end now to have here. Celebrant. Okay, how to do it? I'm going to offer a trade here. And I'm gonna use the Massive Might instead of the Wolf Strike. Now I have to, I have only Wolf Strike for 1 damage, so I think I'm gonna do this. They get the Blood Token, but they also mulligan to 6, so maybe that's okay. I actually did draw 2 non-lands here, right? As my first 2 draws, that's good. Unless I never draw the 6th land. Then I draw a lot of spells, and I think, because I have only 1 more 6 mana card in the deck, if I only draw non-lands for the rest of the game, even if another Flourishing Hunter is among those cards, I think I'm gonna win in that case. Well, I can't know for sure if I'm gonna win, but I will be favorite to win. Okay, so they go for the statue at 8 gains haste. So, and they discarded a Bloody Betrayal. Interesting. I could, make the decision to start gaining life. They will be able to attack with this if they want to again. I think now I will rather gain life than attack here, because they are able to pressure me a bit until I get to drop my hunter. And this was now the 6th land. Of course, any further lands that I might draw are gonna be just completely bad. But then again, I kept the 5 lander, so I can't assume not to draw more than 6 lands in any kind of a game with. Okay, let's try this. Interesting main deck choice, by the way, Enter Festivities. This is good sideboard card, but this is interesting to play in the main deck. I'm gonna cut another Toxic Scorpion if they play this card. Yeah, any kind of long game where you, let's say, if the game lasts 10 turns or more than that, and you keep 5 lands, you most likely will, get to 10 or so lands anyway. Alright, so let's see if they really want to kill the Minister. Totally fine for me, actually. I have a 6-6 coming up. They have 2 cards left, 1 redraw left. They can use a Blood Token attack for 3. They discard another Bloody Betrayal. Oh, what's this deck? Enter Festivities, multiple Bloody Betrayals. Interesting. Well, At least I get my 6/6 unless they have a discard effect. Belligerent Quest. Alright. Now, do they have a bloody betrayal for the hunter here? Because they do get a blood token, they can attack. Yeah, if they, and this creates a blood token anyway. So if they have bloody betrayal number 3 in their hand, I just lose because this is gonna be enough. It's gonna be 6 plus. It's exact 6 actually, because this is a 3 power one. 7 plus 6 is 13. Okay, they didn't have it, but they have a mini sky. Yep. I mean, they did draw 4 lands after mulliganing, so that's enough gas for them. Yep. So can't even do anything to the socialite. Well, I can't even raise here. I just have to hope they don't find any answer to this thing. That's not good. Yeah, that's not really good for me. I mean, it's a good card. It's a very good card. At least they are a little bit, you know, they have a lot of ways to sacrifice blood tokens, but they can't benefit. This does say whenever this attacks, you can. Yeah, okay. These are all requirements to sacrifice blood tokens, not triggers. That you know happen when you do sacrifice. Okay, they are gonna go for a. That was the last card in their hand, so whatever they draw is a random card now. So they're just gonna want to push some damage through. Which is that gonna be lethal if this attacks for 5, 6, 12? I think it's very close to lethal at least. They definitely should attack with everything. And I have to block the, of course, the guy that. No, this was of course. I mean, this doesn't let you sacrifice blood tokens. I mean, you don't have to sacrifice. You can just. I mean, this is the kind of trigger that happens when you, for whatever reason, sack a blood token. Anyway, I will block the blood token generating thing, and now I have to find another blocker, which I did. So the many sky can be blocked now, and if they don't get any more blood tokens, they can't attack with the statuette. They can't also get blood tokens from this thing unless they gain life. So I guess if I chain into some multiple. Well, my guys don't have vigilance, so I can't exactly attack area. This is really bad. And if they do have more bloody betrayals in the deck, oh, it's gonna be an immediate loss for me. But yeah, they have discarded 1 land, so it's possible that they hit a pocket of lands at some point. They give the Fangs that thing. Okay, that's gonna mean a lethal attack if they have. Okay, I'm gonna go to 1 here. If they had a blood token there, I would have lost. Okay, now I am at 1. Epicure will win. Boulder and Epicure will win. Oh, wow. Alright, so opponent has 2 empty festivities in the main deck. 2 bloody betrayals. Yep. Alright, so bloody betrayals are very crazy against the flourishing hunters, and now I will cut Snarling Wolf. I won't cut the Traveling Ministry because that's good enough, but I'm gonna cut the Death Touch Scorpion too. Don't want to die to those multiple empty festivities, and I do need to have blockers for the you know, if they steal my guy. So I think I'll play the Dawnheart Geist here. And what else? Another Sheltering Bows. That's crazy. I guess I could take it Adamant Win, but I saw, I think, only an upgrade. It still might be the most, you know, reasonable card to be running here. I don't want to play the 1 toughness creatures. That's just not happening. Yeah, let's take the Adamant Will. Okay. Let's not have that kind of a starting hand now then I had in the previous game. I need to now apply pressure to the board. Well, this is the opposite, so I have to mulligan now this, of course. Alright, so this is fine. I can lose the Adamant Will here, and have a 2-drop here at least. Yeah, the End to Festivities, it's definitely not that much of a great card, so whenever I cast an enchantment spell, and this is an enchantment spell. Nice. Am I gonna make this into a 2/6? Okay, I'm gonna make them actually use a spell to deal with the Geist, whatever. I don't care about the Geist enough. It would have gained me 2 life though, but I mean, if they use a Sure Strike for that, it's fine. Sadly, of course, I have to miss my play here, so I could have maybe thought that if I don't draw any creature that I can cast, then the Sheltering Bows can't be played on turn 3. I mean, I'm not gonna play it on their guy, of course. Like, I was just interested in making them use whatever trick they have on the random 1/3. Okay, so here, let's do this. If they equip, they have a 3/1, but then I can... Well, let's see what they do and what I draw. Yeah. But I definitely drew the wrong cards here. Okay, well, I have to play the Sheltering Bows here. This is a 5/5. Man, that's not good. I can't even kill it by double blocking. But I can block the Epicure with the Minister, but I'm not willing to do that. Fine, I'll just understand that my deck is really bad and I don't really... Yeah, they actually can take my Minister only, that's fine. This is a 4-mana card. But they have a lot of these threaten effects. I'm happy about the Flourishing Hunter, because if my Weaver of Blossom gets to survive and I draw one other land in 2 draw steps, then I obviously will be gaining at least 5 life here. If the Griffin Cavalry also survives. But I will take now... I think the opponent... I mean, they can... What they can do with the Dominating Vampire, they can target the Vampire itself, in which case it's a hasty 3/3. And I wasn't gonna... I would have maybe... block the Epicure, but anyway, they would have maybe it would have been more reasonable to attack with the 3/3 as a hasty guy. I think. And why would they equip that post combat? That is weird. But there's a Hull Pack Piper now. So if I survive this turn, I get my... this is gonna be tough. I of course do play this thing, but I will... I'm not even sure if I want to gain life here, because if they have a threaten effect, they take my flyer, they will attack for a lot of damage. I'm not gonna gain the life. I wanna have this as a jump blocker on the 5/3, because I don't wanna block with the Hellback Piper. Okay, no threaten there. So are they going to have End the Festivities? Because it feels to me that they are. I'm gonna do it like this. Just take 5 here. It is pretty crazy, but if I block to the 2/2 with this thing, and they have an End the Festivities, that's just bad. Okay, sadly I have no... Because this untaps whenever I put a... That's a Sorcery Speed activation. Whenever I put a creature that is a wolf or werewolf, this untaps. And so if I had 2 green here instead of 3 white, I mean, and 1 forest, I would have been able to put Flourishing Hunter and something else. So the problem is still that, I mean, I guess it's not so bad, because I can play the trainee here and then put, it's gonna become a knight. Oh, no, it won't, because I played the spell. I'm a fool. I still wanted to play it though. They have this many sky. I mean, problem is I'm only gaining a low amount of life, but I guess I guess that's what it is. I could put the Weaver and then maybe, you know, gain what? 1 extra life. It's not worth it. This is at least a big creature. Now they could use a threaten effect, but at least this untaps so I can now block with it. But I think they might have an end to the festivities in the deck. Yeah, these many skies are gonna be... They are problematic. But do they have a good attack now? They don't. But I'm gonna play... I'm pretty sure they have end to the festivities, so... Okay, Millipede. That'll be good when my guys die more even. And now I'm gonna make it into a knight. So I'm going to activate this, put the Weaver of Blossoms here. It will untap, and then I won't be doing anything else because I can't do anything else. No attacks, and it will turn into a knight, which means that this will become a 4/4. Now it can't use its ability, by the way, but I get a creature card from top 6 here, and now this is a 4/4, so my blocks are better now. Only 1, 3, 5 lands. Wow. I actually wouldn't mind drawing 1 land there, but that was pretty interesting. Okay, my rare might actually help here, but I need to be very careful about, you know, all the... This taps for 2 mana though, but I need to be very careful about, you know, threaten effects and all, and I'm only at 8 here. I do have another Flourishing Hunter in the deck. If I can manage to draw that, things will be a lot easier because I will have, of course, a bunch more life in that case. So they played 1 spell. Are they going to... No, probably won't be playing another spell. So that could be a 7/5. How do I block it? I mean, both are gonna be big here, of course. But they will lose the blood tokens. This is this interaction is not so good with the Sanguine Statuette because the opportunity for the Statuette to attack has gone now. Alright, so I'm going to lose, of course, one of my high impact cards. That means one of the either the 6/6 or the 4/4, but they will lose both of these. And I don't really want to take 5 here, so I will have to block them both. And they have the end in the festivities in there, so I have to make sure that this will deal 7. So I think I have to do it so that... No, I don't think there's a really good way to do it. No, because I can't put the 1, 2 and the 3, 4 there. Do I have to take 5 here? Because if I take 5, things will be... No, but the Millipede will be quite big at least. Although I don't have mana for it. Okay, so how to do it? I think I'm doing it... I'm gonna make them use the end of festivities. I will have the werewolf now after all this said and done. Come on. Yeah. This will die to the end of festivities. This will not die. Yeah, this is fine. Not great, but then they will get to, you know, do the thing with the squire here too. Oh, they didn't actually... What the heck? The Flourishing Hunter survives here. They chose to kill this instead. I'm assuming the Howler is gonna die now. Yeah, but interesting actually. Oh, Valorous Stance. This does require discarding a card. But now, of course, I don't have the... don't have them. I mean, this would be a very big creature if I just... Oh man. 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures in the graveyard. This will be quite big. I could try racing. But it's not really worth it. I need to wait until I get to play the Millipede, and I still have to be very, very careful about them being able to steal my creatures. I'm surprised they chose to leave this alive then and not the Weaver of Blossoms. Okay, they just choose to use it right now. So it will be tapped. So that's that. And it will be in there. Yeah, so I just have to make sure that, well, for example, if they play their last card from the deck, I mean, they need to have all 2 mana up, because now the Valorous Stance will kill it. Okay, Celebrant. Okay, so this is now rather easy, actually. I can't kill it now because it's indestructible for this turn, but conveniently I didn't draw the 5th land because I wasn't gonna play the Millipede now anyway. So what this says: big creature, but in order to make it indestructible, you have to pay 2 mana and discard a card. So now I can just make it indestructible. Question is, sorry, not. I don't make it indestructible. I make it destroyed. Yeah, I'm gonna start attacking with this guy. I have a little bit of a life buffer here. And I have a good attack on the next turn, but let's just destroy this now before they get to draw a card. Now they do need to draw something good. A steal spell on the... I mean, a temporary steal on the Flourishing Hunter. It doesn't work. Hypnotist can't block. They can make the Celebrant into a 4-1, but do I have a victory here if they don't jump block? Because this gives trample. I mean, now I just have a victory here. With the Massive Might, it's exactly... This can't block. So... this is exactly enough. Also, I never drew the land, which is, you know, which wasn't necessary. I'm gonna attack this guy, dealing 10, and then the Massive Might is gonna do the rest. Okay, so I did win a game here. So they have a Krum's Finery, they have a Sanguine Statue. Actually, this matchup might have been one where I could have at least considered putting the Sanctify in. I think that also gains 3 life, doesn't it? Alright, so this Toxic Scorpion would be a decent blocker otherwise, but the End Festivities makes it quite bad. So I don't think I really have a lot of options in terms of sideboarding here. Like, am I going to play another Sheltering Bows instead of something like an Adamant Will? That's actually maybe worth considering. It gives me very good blockers, the Sheltering Bows. Adamant Will is fine, but I have 3 Massive Mights and a Witch's Web. I play double bows. Let's go crazy. That's it. Can I now have a decent 7-card hand? In game 1 I had a bad one which I kept and lost. In game 2 I had the mulligan, but then I got a decent hand from the 6 cards. Okay, so opponent lost because they used all up their time in the sideboarding, and then when it was their time to decide who goes first, they never did anything, and then just the timer ran out, and I actually forgot to... I of course paused the recording in the meanwhile, and kind of forgot that I should maybe resume it when the timer is about to run out, but I didn't, so now you only see the victory screen, but there was no game 3. Opponent just completely vanished after sideboarding for the second time. Okay, how about this opponent? They choose to play at least. I have an okay hand, no early drops, but on the draw the Weaver and then the Flourishing Hunter potentially coming up. Turn 5 even, decent curve, and now I have a 2-drop. And they're gonna get a mountain again. Is this a black-red deck or surprise? No, don't know yet. Okay, the land was good. Because now, even if the Weaver dies, I can play the Shield Passer on turn 4. So this is actually a 2, 3, 4 curve there. And then, if the Weaver doesn't die, and I have a 5th land, or maybe even if it becomes a Knight, I can play the Flourishing Hunter on turn 5. Okay, blue-red it is. That's fine. I will attack for 2. And there's the 5th land. Now, if the opponent actually makes it Knight, that means they have, of course, all the mana up, and I wouldn't be playing the Flourishing Hunter, even though this would tap for 2 in that case. But I would play the Shield Passer. And now they have a Flame Breather, which means that they have only 1 mana up. I can attack for 2. I mean, I can attack with both of these and then play the Shield Passer. Yeah, because I'm not blocking the Blinding Geist no matter what. Let's put some bluffing potential. Although I do have the Valero stance, so I don't actually need those stops. I will have priority stops here anyway. Okay, they actually think that the Flame Breather is going to do so much work for them that they don't want to, trade it with a trick. That's good for me because I got 2 free damage now. And next turn, Hunter will be played if Weaver is going to survive. Although if they have like 4 mana or 3 mana up, maybe not. Then it depends what I draw. But they can attack for, I don't know, 3, I suppose 4 if they also attack with the Flame Breather, if they have like a Sure Strike. But now I have, of course, a good attack myself here. If I'm going to play the Hunter, though, I won't have mana for this thing. Okay, they have Anger. I guess they can attack for 4 in that case. Another Anger, maybe? Nope. I will take 4. I will at least try to raise them. So, do they have a spell or not? Well, sadly, now they have Syncopate and Siphon Essence up, which I really didn't want to see. Problem is that if I attack with the Weaver of Blossoms, I don't have mana to cast the Flourishing Hunter. I guess I'll have to play into a counterspell. I will attack with the Sporeback Wolf and the Shield Passer here. Oh, they have a... Wow. That's really good. Now I don't have to worry about any counterspells. In which case I won't be even attack. I guess I can still attack with the Sporeback Wolf here. Because I'm not blocking with it. Although this will be tapped. Yeah, and if they deal with the Hunter, I might want to have the blocker. Okay, no attacks. No attacks then, and gain 4 life. And now if they have like bounce spells, I can gain more life with this guy. So bounce spells aren't that great against the Hunter. And now I can block. Oh, I mean, I guess if they attack with the guys, they could still have a Sure Strike, which, would make the block with the Hunter quite bad. So, I mean, what else could it be if they attack with it, other than maybe a bluff? But I can take 3 here, if they were to attack now. They need to deal with this. I mean, this won't untap yet, but the Flourishing Hunter will be a 6/6, so they need to do something to it. So I am willing to, especially because I do have a Valero stance here, which I can use to save my creatures from combat damage or burn spells. Once I get to untap, that means I'm not gonna put the Hunter into harm's way. Okay, no attacks then. So how many of my guys will be attacking here? I guess into the 1/3 there's no point attacking with. Okay, let's attack with just this guy. They could triple block, but then they can also do this, and of course it's very risky triple block because they would lose everything, and if I have anything, I won't even lose this guy. So let's make it into a knight then. Now they might have werewolves too, they play red, but of course I'm not playing the Valorous stance just for fun. And it's quite useful to have the blossoms as a 3-4, because then it can attack into the Flame Breather here. And now my Shield Passer will also be untapping here. So they had a Cemetery Gatekeeper, which they didn't really need here. Understandably, they put it away. So I have now two large threats that they need to deal with somehow. The Binding Geist can't even attack now profitably because of the werewolf being able to. Okay, well it's gonna be 5 damage now, so I think I will take the 5 now. But they need something. Okay, that. Okay, all right. Well, I mean they had a crazy good bomber. I mean maybe it's not crazy good, but it's exactly what they need here in this particular situation. I mean, that's amazing. A 3-power flyer, which I can't kill with the Valorous stance, that prevents my Flourishing Hunter doing anything. That's really awkward. That really is. I mean, I was really, assuming that they can have a bounce spell, and I can counter multiple burn spells or something like that. Jeez. Now I can block with the werewolf, and they will trample 1 damage, and then I can make this indestructible. Problem is they have played 2 spells, so but I can't keep taking damage here. This will transform, that's the problem here. Man, the Dream Shacklegeist. Alright, I will do this and indestructible. Jeez, the Geist is really annoying here. Really annoying. And now they can put also the -2, -0 on this Shield Passer here. But the Griffin Cavalry is actually decent now. So let's attack with everything, right? They will take 6 here. So they will go to 8. They need to keep tapping down the Flourishing Hunter, and I could even block the Dream Shacklegeist. But let's see now. I mean, the 6/6 being handled in this such a convenient way. I guess if I draw my Wolf Strike, things will be a lot easier, but it's a combination of a 3-power flyer and answer to my Flourishing Hunter all in one card. That's really, really good. But yeah, of course, opponent has what 5 cards in their hand and this thing in the graveyard, but they have only 5 mana, so they can't play all the stuff they have that quickly. And I have a board even without the Flourishing Hunter. It's quite decent. Okay, they go to kill the Basher, which makes, of course, sense. I can't sadly train the cavalry in any way, but I can attack for 4 in the air, and if they have to block with the, I mean, they probably won't want to block with the Geist, which means that they go to 4, and I can draw like pump spells or something like that. I'm not quite dead yet. I could also draw Witch's Web. Alright, so now I will just there's not even point attacking with the Weaver of Blossoms anymore, because they will block with the Flame Breather. Sadly, no training possible. But I will attack with this guy, and if they wanna block with the Geist, I don't mind. So they most likely will go to 4 now. So the good thing about this turn cycle was that the opponent's turn cycle is that they didn't attack or block with the Geist. So the only thing it did, it was just holding down the Flourishing Hunter. They discard more of their 2/1s for 2. So let's see how many other removal spells they still have there. The next Ancestral Anger will be gaming them +3/+0 and Trample, but it's not lethal yet. Okay, they have a Lacerate Flesh on that thing too. I mean, they're gonna still, if they don't have another spell, they are going to... Now they can attack, I guess, but they go to 1 now. They do go to 1 now. Millipede, another big thing, that's nice. So I will just gain a life point and yeah, they're gonna take 3 anyway. Even if I attack with everything, they are not gonna block the Traveling Minister because they would die. So they would block the one of the 2 power guys anyway. The only difference is that I don't gain life in that scenario. Actually, the question is, am I attacking? I guess with the Millipede. I mean, all my guys will be tapped and they can tap the Millipede with this if they want to. So the question, I guess, is that... question is, am I supposed to attack with the Weaver of Blossoms? Do I want to have a blocker for this in case they have like a Ancestral Anger, which makes this into 6 power? I go to 8. Then they attack with this. Yeah, if they have... I guess it's only about 1. Because I really want to make them go to 2 here. It's actually important here now. Okay, actually it's 1. So the thing is that if they jump block, yeah, they are not gonna jump block. But if I attack with only the 3 power guy, they might jump block. Whereas if I attack with both, they're gonna just block the 2 power guy. Problem is if they can't tap the Millipede and then this being an attacker. No, if they jump block with, yeah, the problem is exactly they are not gonna jump block with it. They have so many cards though, Binding Guys too. I think it's more sense to do this. I do understand I might lose now. They might have a sequence to win because this, these pings, they will add up. Can't mill anything relevant here, so there's no graveyard castables or anything. I can mill creatures to make this bigger, but I don't even think it matters. It's gonna be about at least a 4/4 and whatever other things there are. I'm gonna increase its size, but yeah, I mean the Dreamcycle Geist was the problem here now. Now the question is how many non-creature spells they have, because they have currently, I mean, if they don't have another Ancestral Anger. Oh, I had a Graveyard castable, but it is the kind that doesn't matter because they can tap this if they want to. Should I make it a lifelinker anyway, just in case? I mean, if they attack, I'm going to block anyway. If it's a lifelinker, no, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, if they don't have an Ancestral Anger, I think then I'm in a good shape. But if they do have another Ancestral Anger, this thing combined with the multiple Angers is gonna make me lose quite easily because then the Millipede. So the other option was to not attack with the Weaver of Blossoms and attack with the Sporeback Wolf and hope they don't jump block. Then this would be untapped as well. Okay, the Celebrants, they're really certainly digging for something. I guess they are digging for cheap non-creature spells and ideally another Ancestral Anger. But they have the means to do that. Yeah, the Dreamcycle Geist was the big thing here because that's their clock and an Asper at the same time. If this was just a, some card that deals with this without the flyer, it would be a very different game, of course. So this is still gonna be okay. They chose not to tap down the Millipede, so at least I don't have to worry about that part anymore. Now, how do they prevent me from attacking for lethal here? Oh, green. Brambleweb. What? Now that was random. And that's exactly enough. If I attack with everything... No, it's more than enough. The hell? They had gained 5 life in the blue-red deck by just playing a forest and a Brambleweb. What the heck? Weird. No, I don't even have good attacks now. I mean, I have the millipede with lifelink. That I have, yes. It's gonna gain more life even. What the? Wow, that was the random thing. I mean, the card is splashable, yeah, but not really something you can expect that maybe they play a forest and a brambleweb. Okay, so if I attack with everything, because now they just block with the brambleweb, right? If I attack with everything, I can either make them jump block with the... Basically, Flame Breather will jump block with... I'm gonna gain 6 life no matter what. I'm at 13. Yeah, I think I'm going to attack with everything, because if they choose to eat something with the Brambleworm, yeah, whatever. I'm doing this. I'm done thinking too much here. The Brambleworm was such a weird thing to see. But yeah, okay, so they do go for that jump here, which is, I mean, now my Weaver of Blossoms will trade with the Flame Breather. I go to 13 life. They no longer have the pings available. But of course they still have the Dream Cycle Geist, which can choose to lock down the Moldgraph Millipede, for instance. Take an attack for 10. Yeah, I think that was the best thing I could do still. I can still find like one of my Massive Mites, which might be able to push through, assuming they don't have a kill now. Of course they can have a kill now too. Just 3 extra damage requires nothing more than 1 Ancestral Anger, and that's exactly it. So they probably lock down the Millipede, and I have my 6/600 though. But if they have, I mean, any jump blocker is enough. That's why I'm thinking about drawing a Massive Might here. I have 2 of them still here. Okay, so they chose to lock down the Hunter instead, and they made this one smaller. Are they gonna have a blocker for that? I can still make it into a 4/5. Oh, they played a land instead of discarding it for a blood token, so they must have use for all the mana they have now. So I have, what do I have in my deck? Wolf Strike works with the Flourishing Hunter. Upgrade on the Minister, okay. They still played their land, so they must have a 4-mana spell. That's the only explanation. They must have a 4-mana spell. A Witch's Web also would be amazing draw, by the way, because it untaps. But yeah, the last card, I mean, they have 2 blood tokens. They did play a mountain here, I think. I mean, I know they played a land, but I'm not sure. Was it the mountain? I guess I can see here. Yeah, enter the battlefield this turn. Otherwise, it would be stacked with the other one. The game does separate lands that enter the battlefield this turn in case you are, I guess, for reanimating purpose. Most land animating effects give haste, but not all. So that's important to note. Okay, so they actually have to go for the defensive now. But I have no attack. I need a Wolf Strike. But I fear that they have an interaction for that. They have a 4-mana interaction. Okay, they had Repository Scarp. Do they sacrifice something here? I don't think so. Okay, so this would have been a Wolf Strike almost game over. Wolf Strike would have been a game over. Yeah, the Dream Cycle Geist dealing with the Flourishing Hunter. That's the most awkward thing that's happening here. Well, with lands, I don't have good attacks. I can attack with both to force them to, I don't know, they eat the Millipede and then block the 2/4 and don't even take damage. So I wish I drew anything. Because opponent still has 2 redraws. So if they hit lands here, they can just draw better cards. I got 7 lands, 12 spells, so it's not even, I mean, that's quite a few lands still in the deck, so I can easily draw more of those. Okay, now they choose to attack with that, because why not? It's lethal. I can't even kill it by double blocking, so let's. I mean, this tramples, but I mean, I die if I don't block at all. I think I want to keep some kind of a chance here that I will draw like a witch's web, even though if they have a blocker, it doesn't help because these guys don't trample stitched assistant. Yeah, that's one turn too late. That would have been quite decent earlier. They do the smart block here. So I can gain, yeah, I can gain 5 life here, but it's not enough. I can kill both of these and this will survive and I will go to 7, but then I will die. So I'm not gonna show them anything. Well, where is my crossing canopy? There it is. Wow, I'm so disgusted about the Dream Shackle Geist here. I could have also just drawn my second second Flourishing Hunter, I guess. Would have been a nice thing. Okay, but anyway, that happened. Adamant Will against the multiple Lacerate Flesh. And Upgrade, yeah, that's a good counter on burn spells, while being also a combat trick. Okay, so I tried to put those two in. I get rid of the Snarling Wolf and the Sheltering Bows. Okay, that's fine hand. Stance doesn't actually do a whole lot, but I did see Falkenrad Celebrants there, plus the fact that it gives indestructible can matter still. Again, I drew the 2-drop here. This time I even have a Wolf Strike if I need to get rid of something. Land wasn't bad because now I'm guaranteed with the Griffin Cavalry here, and I still might use the Wolf Strike on their turn. They can have like a stitched assistant. I can even respond to the exploit trigger, so they can't sacrifice the Epicure with value then. But let's see. There's also a bunch of 3 toughness creatures they can play, or maybe nothing at all. Well, they haven't played it. I mean, they haven't passed their turn yet. So that's exactly what I thought here. So they are gonna sacrifice the 1/1, but this prevents the trigger from. I mean, they can still sacrifice it, but of course the triggered ability is no longer around. All right, so this is actually a fine curve out, all in all. I even have the trainee, which I might be able to train somehow, but the cavalry can jump the wolf. Traveling Ministry can pump the wolf for it to train the cavalry. Plus, I don't necessarily need to make this fly. It would be, what, 3, 4 anyway. Okay, they have the Dream Shackle Geist again, annoyingly enough. Yeah, that card is so much better than your average 3 mana flyer. Just miles better. Alright, so a couple of ways to make the Griffin Cavalry survive here. Don't think they're gonna block with that guy, but I'm really hoping they do. Now they can of course start locking down the cavalry here, but I'm not gonna not attack with my guys just because they have this. They can only lock down one of my guys, and now I can still attack with the Sporeback Wolf, so that it will train the Paris Blade trainee at least. Nothing to get back. That's just a 3/3 with Adamant Will, actually not so bad. Are they gonna raise me? I think they are not gonna block with the Geist, so they are going to attack with it. Okay, they choose double block there. Sure. I still have an answer to a lacerate flesh here. So they need something, well, something that doesn't kill with damage, I guess. Bounce spell, something like that. A big blocker, but then again a 4-4 can be... Okay, they played Thirst. I can kill a 4-4, which I saw in the previous game. With the Valorous Stance, of course. I have in my deck there's a Wolf Strike and now the Crushing Canopy, which can deal with the Dreamshackle Geist. I'm not sure if there's anything else though. Don't have any white removal. Not even a Piercing Light. Ancestral Anger and a Blood Petal Celebrant, so they didn't want to discard the island there. And well, they are starting to go low on life. Low on life here now. The Sporeback Wolf being a 2 power, but Traveling Minister is showing its value again, helping in this training stuff. Really good. Really good card in black-white life gain decks. Obviously great way to gain life and whenever you want basically and in training decks you can enable training here nicely. Well, let's see what they have. They could have a... Oh, they have something... That's not a zombie, so it's not gonna be a Chill of the Grave, nope. So the question is, am I going to even use the Valorous Stance here? I mean, if they're going to block... If they're gonna block with the Dreamshackle Geist, I'm fine with the trade here. Because if they have a bounce spell or something, I'm not going to, you know, because they seem to have something. It can be a bounce spell. I have still a good enough board here, and no longer they have the Geist here. They might have a Lacerate Flesh, for instance, here. The Valorous Stance will be useful. And that's it. They have nothing else, and I will be able to attack for exactly 6. This is gonna be a 3-4, and I will train the Paris Blade Trainee, which is lethal damage. Alright. So do I really have nothing else than the 2 cards for the... Well, I do have a Witch's Web plus Valorous Stance, which I can use both on the Geist to make it a 4 toughness creature. I guess the card I cut, yeah, the Sheltering Bows also can be played on opponent's creatures. I still get to draw the card, and then any creature will have at least 1 toughness, so at that point the Valorous Stance will be a legal... It will be a legal target for the Valorous Stance. But the Sheltering Bows is just... I don't know though, I mean I saw a... Well, I saw a Dreamshackle Geist. That of course can lock down the guy that has a Sheltering Bows. And then I saw the Chill of the Grave. They also have the -2/-0 aura from the Disturb creature, so they kind of build your own battle cruiser. It doesn't work in this matchup. It's too kind of counting too much on the fact that they can't interact with it profitably, because this of course takes my creatures away from the burn range. That is one reason to play the card. But I don't really know. I mean, I don't like the Toxic Scorpion though. I could cut that just because it's not very good card in this matchup. And then am I going to play the darn Sheltering Bows? Or maybe even some craziness like a Bramble Armor. Equip cost of 4 is just horrible. You get 1, you know, use for free, just paying the 2 mana. 2 mana there, but don't really know if I want to do that. This draws me a card at least. Makes my Flourishing Hunters slightly better. Okay, let's do the Sheltering Bows thing. Because I don't really think the Toxic Scorpion is a good card at all in this matchup. I think I should have cut it already in the previous sideboarding session. at least I get my 1-off Traveling Minister here. Not a particularly amazing hand because it's 1, 4, 4, 6. They also draw their 1-drops. Okay, well with the 3-drop it's a lot better. Lot better. Yep. Okay, so now I basically need to draw 1 land to play my 4-drops. And okay, that's annoying. Man, I really want to use the Adamant Will defensively here, but it's so risky. I know they have an upgrade. They drew their forest. But then I have the Kindly Ancestor. I'm actually doing it. No, I'm as if I made some kind of mistake there, because of course if I want to gain life I should have done it on my own turn. So they discard a mountain. Do they find an island? If they have any land, the upgrade is a risky thing that they might have, but this has first strike when it's attacking, so I can't trade with it. Yeah, I think I have to just... Okay, and just now that is annoying. No, it gives indestructible. It's not annoying at all. This is fine. Unless they have Flame Blessed Bolt, but I didn't see that. But yeah, this gives indestructible. It's not just a +2/+2 for 2. That would be horrible. So now I don't even... That doesn't even trample anything over, so... That was a good turn. I mean, I had no other use for my mana for that turn, so I'm really happy that that kind of worked out. Am I going to now be the aggressor? Or am I... By the way, drawing the 4th land is great. Am I going to gain the life? I think I'm going to attack for now, because the reason being that I have a lifelinker here. So I'm actually interested in trying to win the opponent. Rural Recruit, not really great against the Epicure, because the 3/1 boar won't be, you know, it will just trade with the 1/1. But let's see what they have for this Kindly Ancestor. They still don't have blue. So now the Brambleworm that was the reason they won the game 1 is now, well, too late now. Now they have the blue. But look at what I drew here. Now, Lacerate Flesh Warning. I could play the Estfeld Shield Basher. I could also put the... Okay, I could play this and put the Sheltering Bows on the board. It will die to the Lacerate Flesh though, but... Am I going to offer the trade on the Binding Geist? I'm not sure. They get the -2, -0. Yeah, I mean, I want to play the 4-mana spell this turn. I don't think Sheltering Bows on that is the best thing right now. I will offer the trade here. I get a lifelink aura myself. It can be quite beneficial on some big guy at some point. But yeah, I'm gonna play the Rural Recruit because it's quite decent. Yeah, I'm doing it. I wouldn't be doing it otherwise, but because I have the Sheltering Bows. Because of course the 3/1 is such a, you know, joke of a token against the 1/1 here. But I can make it into a 4/4. Let's see if the opponent is gonna commit on some kind of play. Okay, why would they do that on the thing that has training? That makes no sense. It's now gonna be easier to train it. Wow. Well, let's see if they have an upgrade here. I will miss the card draw, but yeah, I mean, I will miss the card draw, but then I do. Aha, it worked. Perfect. So now this will just be a 2 toughness creature here. Guess I can even, if they choose to jump block for some reason. Yeah, let's do it like this. It's 5 damage regardless, no matter who I pump here. But this was really a mistake, playing the Binding on the training guy, because now it just gets more counters easier. I have the Kindly Ancestor. I didn't want to do it yet because they might have a Lacerate Flesh now on the board. Thirst for Discovery. Okay. I do have the Flourishing Hunter coming, but now they have the Brambleworm. I need to find my Falrose stance on it, or something like that. It's not the only thing I can have for it. Let's see what they discarded. Do they have the double blue rare flyer again here? I'm just happy that the Spectral Binding went on such a bad target, because I'm just gonna grow it more. It's really good for me. The opponent is really in tank here, so I guess they have like a island they don't want to discard, but they don't really want to discard 2 spells either. But they did discard a Repository Scarp and a Flame Breather, and they had an island there. Now they can attack for 1 because they're not gonna block with the 1/1, not interested in jumps. Oh, not they're gonna do that. That works. Okay, so I guess I can trade with it then. I'm a bit sad to do that actually. Oh, with Massive Might things are really different now. That does mean I won't be able to play the Flourishing Hunter this turn though. But I can play the Shield Passer. Although I might need the Massive Might for the Brambleworm. I mean Shield Passer or the 4/4, something like that. Yeah, maybe I will trade here. Because this becomes a 2/3. But I have more Massive Mights. It would be kind of tempting to make it just grow more. It is tempting to use the Massive Might and then play the Shield Passer. Because I can grow it more. Yeah, I mean... If they play a Brambleworm, I have no attacks though. That's horrible. Ooh, it's so disgusting. But if they have like something else... Like 1 Lacerate Flesh only, I will have 3 valuable creatures here. No, I mean the Brambleworm is too bad. I need to play the 6/6 so I can still continue. I mean now if they have like Lacerate Flesh on the Sheltering Bows, I still have this 6/6 here. Yeah, there's the Brambleworm. So now this is now the important part that I will... Oh, am I going to... Well, I'm not attacking with this thing because then they know I have a trick, because now I can attack into it and save it with the Massive Might. So I'm just thinking if I should put the lifelink there, because I actually have mana for that, because I will play the Shield Passer too. But I need 7 mana. 2, 1, 4. That's 7, and I exactly have the 7 here. I think I'm gonna play the lifelinker there now. Kinda incentivize them to block even more. Or maybe even attack with the Sheltering Bows guy. No, I don't do that. But I'm gonna pump this, of course. And now they can maybe answer it somehow, and they can gain the 5 life by playing that guy from the graveyard. But look at my board now. Even if they get the flyer now, they can lock down the Flourishing Hunter, but I have still these pretty good attackers here left. So now it seems it seems that they need to find something very good. The cards I have seen them have, I mean they could have an upgrade on the Shield Passer and then Lacerate Flesh on this thing, but they actually have to just cycle that thing effectively to draw something good. And there's nothing they have. Wow. I'm really happy that I played around the Brambleworm and didn't use the Massive Might on the prior turn, because then I had no attack in that case, because I wouldn't even have had the Flourishing Hunter. Yeah, that was the correct decision. So this will be my last best of 3 draft match until Neon Dynasty. Let's see if it's gonna be an interesting one. But yeah, I will have daily uploads of of those double feature drafts, but they are all best of one. There won't be one coming today, because I know I said that I will be uploading another double feature video on the day I'm having the Crimson Vow draft, but this took so much time. This is a fine hand, by the way. This took way too much time. I was 35 minutes in the draft queue finding for the, a draft pod. Nice draw, by the way, here. And then this is already 90 minutes video. So it's almost midnight. I'm not going to hop into another draft. So there won't be. This is the video of today, and on the next day there will be. On the next day there will be a double feature draft. All right. So opponent had also pretty decent start here, but I can battle them. Okay. So just do this. Gain some life. And I think I can block the Drogskull infantry here. Because when they have something with +2/+2, I have Witch's Web, Massive Might, I have ways to deal with the big creature. I don't really feel like taking all this damage. Are they not gonna attack with the escort? Do they really have +1/+1 counters on something? Oh, I mean, coming up at some point. They don't attack with anyone. What the heck? I guess they will block with the escort, but that's fine. I mean, I'll let them do that. Because it can be a bit annoying if they have something. I have this Spore Crawler here, which I still don't mind trading with the infantry, because I'll get to draw a card, and I actually want to draw some lands for the Flourishing Hunter. Plus, creatures in my graveyard are totally fine now, because they have something. I guess I could have considered just not blocking there, but I want to draw a land here. And the creatures in my graveyard will be good with the Millipede around. Okay, land is good. That is alright. What to do? Attack for 1 at least. I'm not gonna Sheltering Bows my Traveling Minister. I'm thinking about if I want to play a Witch's Web to block the infantry. I don't think I do. Then again, I could. Fine, I don't have any other use for my mana this turn. I do it just to play my cards here. And I did draw the land. Now this is at least a 4/4. It can mill some creatures to be a bigger. I guess it's fine. I have the Sheltering Bows on it as well. It will mill 1 creature. Okay, that's kind of the expected amount, I guess. And now that I earlier made them use the Adamant Villa, maybe they don't have more tricks, but of course I'm not gonna block with this thing into any kind of I mean, blocking with it, for example, the 3/1 would be crazy. They might have another Adamant Will pack leader, which is gonna be. This is a 4-mana card, so it gets the counter. Fierce Retribution is, of course, the problem that might be coming up. But then again, I have 2 big creatures. They need to have answers for both of them. Can they have answers for both of them? I mean, of course they can, but do they have? I just want to actually draw a land so I can play the Flourishing Hunter this turn. Now that's actually better, because now I can play Massive Might and steal the whole Pack Piper. I'm not playing the Sheltering Bows, of course. The whole Pack Piper is gonna put this on the battlefield with 2 mana only. So, raising. I like raising here. The thing is that this will get to train, and I'm not gonna. Well, I could kill it with the Massive Might, but I don't wanna just. But then again, not attacking with my 6/5. But then again, look at their board. Okay, I can't attack. I can't attack. I mean, they have, after all, almost 10 damage here. Actually, they have exactly 10 here. Yeah, alright. So I came to my senses. That wasn't a good attack at all. Alright, so that's gonna be very good during night. Okay, so I get the Flourishing Hunter for 2 mana, but I don't want to make it into a knight, because the Wolfking Outcast will draw them too many cards. Now I can attack with the Millipede, I can play the Sheltering Bows on it, but I actually don't want to, because I do want them to make some kind of blocks. I can make it into a 6-5, it can be 8-7. So they would have to put quite a few blockers to play around Massive Might. Although it being, I mean, I get a lot of life though. From the Flourishing Hunter if I make it into even bigger creature. Suddenly quite tempting actually. Because if they block it so that it dies, I don't even get a lot of life. Not that I need necessarily. But hey, I put the Sheltering Bows to my deck. I wanna use it now. Oh, Griffin Cavalry is good. Yep, now it's time to attack because I will be having a 6-6 blocker here. I guess they just take 7. Oh, I'm really I like to see this. They have to put quite a few cards here to play around pump spells. That's not enough. What? They are not playing around pump spells? That's 8. I mean, they have only 1 white. I guess they could have a Piercing Light, but what the heck. This is great for me if they have... Oh yeah, that they lost the Wolfking Outcast of all things. Now I don't have to worry about it becoming Knight. This is a Sorcery Speed activation, so... Let's take... Oh, this still has 10 toughness even though it has taken damage. Don't let it fool you. I get 10 life now. Alright. That was an interesting block. No respect to potential pump spells at all. At least they should have put in more creatures there so that even if I have a pump spell, this thing still dies. Okay. Now I don't have more pump spells. Who am I going to pump with the Traveling Minister? They can't kill both of these guys. It's fine if they kill one of them. So this will basically trade. They can block with the Pack Leader and the Outcast. And that will mean that... Or they can block with the Drogskull Infantry. No, that doesn't work. If they lose 2 guys, I'm happy. The only way for them to not lose 2 guys is to put both the Pack Leader and the Outcast on the Flourishing Hunter. Or I guess the Millipede. So I think I'm doing it like this. They do have these +2/+2 auras, but I have a Griffin Cavalry. I mean, I'm assuming one of these survives, and at least Whole Pack Piper will survive, because I'm not playing the spell, I'm going to use the ability, so it will become a knight. And that's also the reason I want the Outcast to die here. So now they're playing around pump spells when it's no longer necessary. Wow, this is so good for me. Because obviously I want them to lose something else in addition to the Outcast. But do I want to make them to lose the Trainer? I guess the guy that trains. Yeah, let's do it like this. That was really good. So now I don't again have to worry about Knight, and I will use this. This won't untap now because this is not a wolf or a werewolf, but I still didn't play a spell here. So now I get to transform this guy and look at my top 6 cards. Let's take a Flourishing Hunter. Is that enough to get a concession from the opponent? Or do they have by invitation only? I guess if they do, I have still this thing in my hand, and currently Cavalry plus a big thing is lethal. Well, they get a Jump Block Flyer from that. By the way, I am at 35 life here. Okay, that was the last card, so no by invitation only in their hand, and of course I don't know if they have that in their deck, so I'm going to play all my stuff now. Just in case, because they might have more ways to block flyers. I don't want them to, have a million turns here by just playing safe for no reason. Now they don't have a hand of cards, they only have this thing in their graveyard, so... But they did double spell, so I get to use this ability again and also do the transform thing again. So I'm gonna be able to do this. And then I'm going to do this. Target that guy, pay 1 and white. They jump block the 6/6, they take 4 from the Griffin Cavalry. And I am definitely not playing so that I'm not gonna play around the top deck by invitation only. I gain here more life and get another trigger for this Hullback Piper now. Do I find a creature? Yes, I do. I think the Seal Passer might be the most interesting one. The card they draw must be something amazing. Okay. So, what did I see? Multiple Wolf King outcasts. Recruit, Infantry, Adamant Will, Ollenbock Escort. Well, I guess they have the Ascendant Pack Leader and they had Rural Recruit that can gain some counters. Alright. Nurturing Presence. Drugskull Infantry. Didn't see any other flyers, but of course they play white. They might have. I'm thinking about them Crushing Canopy. This can be okay, sort of trick when they do have for example, the Drugskull armaments on some creature, and I can in mid combat put, destroy the armaments, and then the creature being smaller might make the combat beneficial to me. So I'm thinking about that. Again, Snarling Wolf, just don't like it. It asks too much mana. So I think I'm gonna play the Crushing Canopy, because also a white deck can just have flyers. So that's probably fine. I don't think I care about another Adamant Will now. I still have the triple Massive Might and the Witch's Web here. I think this is it. I can play the Toxic Scorpion. It's, it can block all these ground guys. So I don't think I'm gonna sideboard in another one of those though. No, this is fine. Okay, again a starting hand. That's quite good. They have a Snarling Wolf. My Wolf Strike will be enough to kill the Snarling Wolf if they... Okay, well, not gonna play the trainee now, I'm doing this. Question is, am I going to block the Drugskull Infantry? I think the answer is yes. Or trade with a combat trick of some kind. Okay, they really want to save the infantry. I guess if they don't have a creature drop for this turn, then it's fine. But if they would have, then I guess this was the only thing they have mana for that turn. But I'm happy it's now used. Maybe the 2/3 makes them not able to block. They still do that attack though, so question is, because I don't need the mana this guy gives at all. They might have something like Wolf King Outcast for this turn if I let them just deal the damage. I'm gonna trade this to whatever another trick they might have. Main idea is to get rid of their tricks, and at some point they, don't have them anymore. Sheltering Bows. I'm going to take the Rural Recruit, probably, because I can trade the 3/1 can trade with the 2/2 here. I will be able to maybe train the 1/1 at some point. I have the Shield Passer here, Sheltering Bows, Full Stack. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in here. Well, that's rather easy because I have here only one. I mean, if I had 2 white mana, then I might take the Traveling Minister with Paris Blade Trainee, but now it's just gonna be the Shield Passer, which will be able to start training this guy. Let's see if they go for the infantry on the Snarling Wolf, then I might have a good Wolf Strike coming up in that case. Plus these are actually gonna deal 6 to them. They probably want to play a creature if they have one. And now if they have the... okay, they had the most annoying of them. So I can attack into it though, and then use the Wolf Strike. But I can also use the Sheltering Bows and Traveling Minister on the next turn to deal with it. But okay, let's see if I attack. I make it indestructible. The problem is they just, you know, don't block. I can't attack with the Ruler Recruit. Oh, it's night. Wait a minute. Sorry, I'm fool. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. It's night. When did it become night? With my Weaver? Who didn't play a spell at some point? I thought every turn. It doesn't matter. It obviously doesn't matter now. Because it's night, this is gonna deal 6. And don't even have to, I mean, use the mana for the triggered ability. Man, imagine if I did forget that it was a night. I didn't notice this emblem or whatever it is. Jeez. Yeah, that was a very easy way to deal with the Flourishing Hunter. Late to rest. Well, that's quite slow and they don't have a lot of humans in the deck. Actually, look at this. Spirit, Wolf, Spirit, Wolf. Late to rest works when you have most of, or I mean, almost all of your creatures have to be humans. Otherwise, it's just not gonna do a lot. They actually maybe wanted to play the... Well, I don't care. It's a 3/3 now. I have a Sheltering Bows here. So this doesn't do anything when the wolf dies. It doesn't have a counter, it's not a human either. So I think this is going to be... I mean, it's gonna be great for me, of course, but I'm just thinking if I want to save the... Yeah, I'm doing it like this. I don't mind if they trade with it, because they can make it into a 3/3, but they can do that. They can do that, I don't care about that. So here what's happening is I'm gonna train them both. I'm gonna make a Shield Passer indestructible. And they take 7 damage or 10 damage. And then they have a +2/+2 aura in the graveyard. That doesn't have a target currently. They have to draw like a 3 mana or cheaper creature to be able to use this. And now of course I have the Flourishing Hunter myself. Oh, I should have played a land. I'm a fool. Because if I draw land... Now of course I was just look at the board state here, but I still should have played well. So play the land in case I draw another land. That would have allowed me to play the 7th land as well, and then I could play the Flourishing Hunter while having mana for the triggered ability of the Shield Passer. But it didn't now matter because the opponent wasn't able to deal with this board. Okay, Sheltering Bows. I mean, yeah, it did nice stuff here, but it's still a pretty clumsy one, and rarely your deck synergizes with this kind of effect, so that's why it's so easy to cut. You would rather play some creature maybe, or some non-creature spells that have actual good synergy with your deck. But yep, that was the last traditional draft of Crimson Vow, and with that also the last draft of Crimson Vow, because I will be playing, rather than playing premier drafts of Crimson Vow, I'd rather play the double feature, which I quite like. A nice refresher at the end of this format, you know, before Neon Dynasty releases. Well, I went the distance, but in match 1 the opponent didn't play the game 3, they just timed out there. Match 2 and 3, I guess they were interesting. But my deck wasn't really, I mean, this wasn't the kind of a deck with which I want to say farewell to the format. This is definitely just a mixed, all kinds of weird stuff here. I mean, the Moldcraft Millipede is not exactly the best 5-drop for this deck. The Holepack Piper did some nice work with the Flourishing Hunters. Of course, it was my first pick in the draft, and it is a really good card. Both, the 2-mana ability and the fact that when it transforms, it's an actual nice effect, and it becomes a 4/4. Also, it's very easy to transform it because you can use your mana for the activated ability, and then you don't have to play a spell on your turn. Other than that, I had like a Snarling Wolf in the deck. I did have the Sheltering Bows in the deck. Toxic Scorpion it's not the greatest in this kind of a green-white deck that wants to train your creatures. Really, really mediocre deck, but sometimes, of course, you can get the best result even with a mediocre deck, and that was it. So the next remaining week and a half will be double feature drafts, and then everyone's waiting for Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Spoilers have started, interesting limited stuff. Will be great to see that, to hop into those drafts, but let's wait for before the set releases first. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.